Hola and welcome to Barcelona, Spain for a super Saturday of racing on day 3 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Mother Nature delivered light air yesterday. Only one full race was completed. Today there's an eagerness amongst the fleet to get stuck in. 6 races have been scheduled on the back of the news that Emirates Team New Zealand have repaired their boat and are back in full race mode. Heading into the third day of the Challenger Selection Series, on the points table, including the Defender, Ineos Britannia have 2 wins on the board. 4 teams sit on 1 point, and Switzerland's Alinghi Red Bull Racing is yet to score. Take Emirates New Zealand out of the equation, and there's nothing in it. So let's head to the water for the first race of the day. It's race 7, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli against American Magic. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli into the box on time. Tiny bit behind, but now we go.
Maybe he's thinking port. Stand by. He's going straight very long there. I do my own thing here. Coming up here, guys.
Not a great deal of bias in the start line.
Quite low in the box. Great, it's gone. 20.
Luna Rossa gone all the way to the boundary, jibing back.
And 4 down. Going speed out of this.
Decision now on American Magic whether to jump, which looks like they are doing here.
Almost 440 kil.
American Magic leading back, still a lot of time.
He's trying to get a little bit of gas or else still. Speed.
He's a little faster at the moment.
Both boats are above the start ley line. American Magic just keeping an eye on the time, looking to see when Luna Rossa is going to start to push.
Both boats quite early, killing a lot of time there, so American Magic need to try and roll Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but not be early for the start.
Inside the last 10 seconds. Who's the most under pressure? And it is a go, a battle of the heavyweights in race 7 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic split tack start.
A fantastic start there, American Magic, really forcing Luna Rossa onto the back foot early. You see just on the foils there, really down speed tack, having to sail in the gas. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on the back foot here. Going to have to build the speed over to that right-hand boundary to make sure they execute that next tack. Big gain to American Magic.
American Magic came off that line. They were only 5 meters back. I mean, nothing, and doing 32 knots. They were launched.
Good speed, good numbers. Tiny path coming in too.
Little more pressure out the right-hand side there for the Italians in that last exchange.
Italian team right of way.
Definite gain to the Italians on that last exchange, but forced to tack away and clear their air. Absolutely no chance of staying behind in that dirty air of the American team.
How close is this going to be, though?
Yeah, gains to the Italians here. Could be a really, really close cross coming up here. This could be really interesting.
I can't touch it. Got it. 2, 1, 4 down.
Top gate first time. And it's a split rounding of the gate. And one would say, if you look at the numbers now, advantage Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
A massive gain to the Italians there in those last 2 exchanges.
So 2 lead changes in race 7 already. Got a match on our hands off the coast of Barcelona.
Really interesting. Sorry, Stephen, this bottom gate here, the tactical decisions. We'll just listen to both teams because they will be close as they come on bow and bow here.
It is coming. Go down slowly.
Finger across.
Yep.
At this stage, he's ahead. I think he's going to go later. I agree. Get on, guys. Really out of balance here.
American Magic. It's close, this one, as they get to that bottom gate for the first time, complete leg number 2, and there is nothing in this one. American Magic round first, but almost simultaneously.
His turn. Okay, let's just keep the pace up. That 35, 36 mode downwind was nice.
Gonna press big header here.
Tom Slingsby saying nice right shift there, so they are in phase at the moment, but Italian Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli team, really good boat speed there, so really fantastic battle here.
Higher build.
Big gain to us.
Luna Rossa got a lovely lift. I mean, they're on the paying tack. Something on that right-hand side.
Good numbers now.
He does not get in left.
It's 105, so still a little.
You see the track there of American Magic after they've tacked, and obviously a little wobble of breeze out that side of the course. They've lifted and sort of got back into it again, but big gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli there with that last shift and a little more pressure possibly.
35 back the other way.
Francesco Bruni called it before, one hand in, and that's exactly what they are doing as they attempt to extend their lead on American Magic. There have been 3 lead changes so far in race 7.
Yeah, good course there.
After a couple of lead changes, the Italians eventually took control, extended their lead, and secured the win. Heading into the finish line for this race number 7, and it will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Got beaten off the start, recovered beautifully, and they get the point, the valuable point in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
We were happy with our positioning, except that they did a jump on us, and we couldn't had a decent start. But I think it was a lot to do with that bad tack we had off the starting line.
Time to head to the start box for race 8. It's Emirates Team New Zealand versus France's Orient Express Racing. Emirates Team New Zealand in on port entry.
France is a long way off the side of the course. They've obviously got some sort of drama.
Race management from Orient Express Racing Team. We will retire the boat from this race.
So as Emirates Team New Zealand cross the line, we've just heard, and you would have heard, that Orient Express Racing are retiring the boat.
This is the umpires. France has retired. The race is stopped and awarded to New Zealand.
80 cadence and free spin does on the bow.
Emirates Team New Zealand pulled off a miracle to get back on the racecourse, and they secure an uncontested win against the French. Let's head back to the water for race 9. It's Alinghi Red Bull Racing against Ineos Britannia. There's the 2-minute ticks over, and in comes Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and they can see Ineos Britannia, the challenger of record, steaming in as well. Big race on day 3 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
Both teams right on time there, within a second or so of entry, so exactly where you want to be.
Remember the danger here of falling off the foils. It is lighter, and a lot of bad air from the 2 boats going backwards and forwards.
Airing up here. Might be able to go past him here. See how we go. Okay, speed's coming now. I can't see him, so you'll call here. Copy. 45. Yeah. Potential attack and all just a normal lead.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing going all the way to the boundary now, heading back, leading back in this race.
Decision time for Ineos, deciding to lead. Putting Alinghi right in the dirt there, full roost. And I think they may be off their foils, Shirley. Big trouble here for Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Great decision by Ineos Britannia. They wanted to lead back, they wanted the left-hand side, and they gave all that bad air to Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and it is light.
This could turn into a huge lead for the English here.
And it must be a feeling of deja vu for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. This happened to them yesterday. 15 seconds and counting to the start of race 9 in the Louis Vuitton Cup. How long will it take them to get back up on the foils? The clock's ticking towards 0 and the start. And we are racing. It's Ineos Britannia, huge advantage. Alinghi Red Bull Racing off the foils.
Great start by Sir Ben Ainsley and his team on Ineos Britannia. They had a plan and they executed that better than they could have expected. Alinghi Red Bull Racing still to cross the line.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing pay the price for coming off the fours in the start box. All they could do was hope Ineos Britannia would make a mistake.
Pressure on Alinghi now to execute their manoeuvres well, because if they can stay on the foils and Ineos comes off, the lead can change.
Sometimes hope pays off, but it's not a reliable strategy.
Oh, they are low there. They're low there. 20 knots, 19. Right on the edge here, Ineos Britannia. Speed still dropping. This is not over. All about the pressure now. As you watch the lead getting chewed up really quickly here, Shirley.
It's also about the pressure of what's going on in the cockpits of Ineos Britannia. They will be feeling the pressure now. There'll be the chase pressure of Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Big speed bit here coming on Ineos Britannia. Looks like they will dig themselves out. Actually, I shouldn't say anything here. They're trying to dig themselves out. Excavators on full revs at the moment. Big buckets. And a big grind there for the cyclists as they pull the boat up out of the water. But Alinghi Red Bull Racing absolutely ripping down the course here. So still more jibes to pull off. Still open race here.
We are on for a finish in race 9 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Ineos Britannia coming off the foils. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, can they pull something out of that magical hat? A little bit of drama ignites on the race course of the America's Cup. Race number 9, and it will be the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia. Great start, shaky finish, but more importantly, they get the win and go to 2 wins and 2 points in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's a great example where you just can't take any of these races for granted. We had a great lead there and just went live for us on that final drive, or the second to last drive. Came off the foil and the Swiss were coming at us fast.
After the break, the Super Saturday lineup of racing continues. Weather permitting, the French take on America, the Brits go head-to-head against Italy, and the Swiss get a shot at the Kiwis. Welcome back to the Louis Vuitton Challenger Selection Series. The biggest enemy for all America's Cup teams is time. At the end of the round-robin series, someone will be going home. There's only one way to avoid elimination, and that's to win races. So let's head to the start box for race 10. It's France's Orient Express Racing against American Magic.
Super important to execute these manoeuvres now.
Light winds also much to be gained from leading back. You're at least in control then of what you're doing.
American Magic jumping there. Orient Express Racing will sail through the dirt now of American Magic, so having to stay on the foils here. You'll watch the threading of the needle there. Orient Express Racing just have to keep edging forward there. Still 40 seconds to go here on the start, so if Orient Express can keep edging forward there. We'll watch the overlap, possibly see some diamonds, the keep clear diamonds. Big trouble now for the French if they can't stay on the foils here. 18 knots of boat speed, very marginal.
Still time, 20 seconds to go.
Ten seconds to go to the
American
start
Magic
of race
trouble
number 10.
here for me. American Magic.
Still behind it. He's still following us.
Both boats just struggling to stay on the foils. It's all about staying on the foils, so they've just basically forgotten about where the start line is and they have to stay on the foils. So American Magic there will do a dip start. They'll need to stay foiling, as will Orient Express Racing.
So, late drama in the start of race 10.
Really, really clear, calm heads aboard American Magic there. Tom doing a really nice job of just recognising they were too down speed to pull the manoeuvre off and just kept the boat on the foil, and nice smooth turn up now, and they'll have quite a big lead.
American Magic dip under the start line and now cross the start line, and we are now a go in race 10 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. Early advantage, and let's just say an early advantage to American Magic. Orient Express Racing now coming in, and they too are up and racing.
French team, good pace, actually. Clicked more than American Magic. Heading down the side with more breeze.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gates, shortening the course to 1 nautical mile.
Solid manoeuvre there by Orient Express Racing, so still in the game. Long way to go in this race.
Orient Express have come a long way in a week and a half. Just think back to some of those early races.
Oh, look at the angle difference there. Big, wide speed build there on American Magic, obviously in just a bit lighter breeze and almost pointing their bow at Orient Express Racing. So big gain there from the French in the last 20 seconds of the race.
I just get the impression that the French boat is a little bit more forgiving through the tacks and the jibes. They just seem to me, as the attacking boat, to be able to keep the boat foiling just a click easier than American Magic. American Magic have taken this right-hand side. I mean, their last tack was a nice one, but that's the impression I get. I think the French have a good manoeuvrable boat in these very light conditions.
Orient Express took 13 seconds on the last downwind. I mean, they definitely have a little bit of edge. They have a bit of pace.
Actually, I've got big gains to the French here. Shirley, if they can lay this right-hand turn, I think we have a bit closer race on our hands.
They have a great angle back.
French are steaming in to complete leg number 4.
Oh, big pressure manoeuvre here by the French, having to jibe in the dirt of the Americans. A big jibe round up here, and they'll have to execute this well. They'll be sort of back up and around and through the gate, just not quite being able to lay down there. So really close, but just not quite enough there for the French. But if they can keep it on the foils and bear away around through the gate, they've just got to keep the boat on the foils here. Big trim here, power the sails up, try and get the boat heel to leeward, cant under.
Big moment for Orient Express Racing in this match number 10.
Oh, disaster for the French team there. That's going to be a big deficit to build up. Unfortunately, just haven't been able to pull that manoeuvre off. So disaster there for the French team.
A never-say-die attitude had kept the French in the race, but there was no recovering from that mistake.
Happy to eagle in if you need to.
American Magic get the win in race 10.
Yeah, no, it was a nice race by the guys. It's very tough conditions out here, and yeah, it's very similar to yesterday. If you're just always on edge, that you're going to fall off the foils and lose a big lead. So, great job by the guys.
Right, time to head back to the start box for race 11. It's Ineos Britannia against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
The old clip and tack, that's pretty much what we saw American Magic do in that previous race. Light air game plan here.
Both teams really nervous of that right-hand bottom area.
Really interesting to see how both teams play this out over the next 30 seconds.
In a little bit more breeze, you never see a boat go to the left-hand side, and that is exactly where Ineos Britannia is. Head-to-head here, all about when Ineos Britannia is going to tack and lead back.
Luna Rossa will be charging the system as much as they can to try and get a big speed differential and a hook here. Ineos Britannia need to stay bow forward, force Luna Rossa to stay behind.
Both boats on the line, ready to go for race 11. Who's going to get the advantage at the start? Counting down the clock to 0. And we are a go. Race number 11, Ineos Britannia, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
I give the first blood there to Ineos Britannia.
Yeah, that was a strong start by Ineos. I thought they were really clever, just not to say, I'll get in the vortex of Luna Rossa Prada, and they've got the dividend. They're out there over on the left-hand side. They didn't have to get slowed up by the Italians, and that's a bit of a marker, I think, of for the other teams of how to manage pre-start.
This next intersection, really, really critical, bow on bow at the moment. The green circle representing the right-of-way boat of the Italians, but Ineos Britannia there, just a possible slight advantage there. The Italians will build speed, so decision time now for Ineos Britannia.
Probably too close for Ineos to tack on their face.
-3. Coming on. Speed is good. Not high.
Ineos Britannia there, as Shirley said, just having to carry on, and it's really all about, when you're that close, just sailing the boat cleanly, making sure you keep clear air, and hopefully that you're going the right way with your strategy.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with a slight lead on Ineos Britannia as they come into the top gate for the first time in this 6-leg race. They'll complete leg number 1. Take that left-hand marker's U-set and head down on leg number 2. The Silver Bullet has the lead at this point.
Ineos Britannia, a little touchdown here as they come into the bottom, struggled to exit out of the jibe. Disaster there, I think, for Ineos Britannia. They're off the foil, and that is going to be an absolute hellish manoeuvre to get through that gate. They are going to have to carry on straight, try and get the boat back on the foil again, out to the boundary, try and either tack or jibe, keep the boat on the foil to get back through the gate. So pressure time there.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, in its 6th America's Cup campaign, exuded confidence and polish to secure its 2nd win of the day. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli cross the line. They get win number 3 in the Louis Vuitton Cup.
Yeah, it was a great day. Really solid work for the boys on the bikes. I mean, I know it's not a lot of wind, but in a lot of ways you actually burn through the most oil in these conditions, especially with this tricky seaway. So, no, great day for the team and still plenty to learn.
Winds delays forced the cancellation of race number 12 and deprived Emirates Team New Zealand of a chance to test their fully repaired boat against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. So, how does the leaderboard look at the end of day 3? Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have secured their place at the top of the points table, followed by Ineos Britannia, Emirates Team New Zealand, American Magic, Orient Express Racing and Alinghi Red Bull Racing. The wind conditions have been light, but the pressure is building on the challengers. Can the Italians extend their lead? Can the Swiss get off the bottom of the leaderboard? We'll find out tomorrow when the race for survival continues.